We have the minutes of the previous meetings of July 5th and a special meeting on July 10th. Are there any errors or omissions? Or any corrections from the clerk? Any comments from the board?
I make a motion we accept the minutes as written.
Second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, bills. Normally we ask our senator if there's any more, but I'm not going to because he already had his chance. Extra batch here. Is there any comments on the bills from the board?
Sure. The usual corner. Questions of bills. Let's see, page 2 or 7. While I greatly appreciate and look at flowering baskets on Main Street, we give them a tremendous amount of business for those baskets. We purchased 20 and they charge us $805. You know, that works out to be 40 bucks a piece or so. I would think that if we're doing reoccurring business with this nursery, that we should be able to get a better price other than 40 bucks going in and off. Especially if they can rely upon us to be a regular customer. $40 is just ridiculous.
They take and they make all the plants and everything. They take the baskets up there and they take and grow the plants in them and stuff like that.
I understand that, but when I can go up there and buy one basket every 5 years for the same price, I think the village ought to get, they're buying 20 at a time, ought to get a better deal.
I don't think you're gonna get anything that big
No.
for $40. Those are that no price plants. Those they're
Well,
Oh yeah. You go to
They're
Praise
expensive.
Market. If you go to Praise Market right now, they're
You're gonna get a little basket
40,
like
50
this
bucks.
for about 40 bucks.
Yeah.
I mean, ours are.
Yeah. Ours are 20 inch. I think they are.
I don't find that's a bad price.
I don't think so either myself.
Now, I understand though, you know, buying in bulk, you should get something
Right,
off,
yeah.
but maybe that is a good price for, maybe they're better than the standard ones that you get.
Under municipal electric service on the same page, we've got something that says Custom Globe GX Stream. Does anybody know what that means? It's the charge for $2,254. And as a matter of fact, it's twice on that page. There's another charge for $2,212. Custom Globe GX Stream, or GX Stream.
Where is this, under electric?
It's on page 2 of 7.
Just under the water.
Under the general service, the general fund.
See about midway down.
It's bunker coats and pants for the fire department.
It's what now, I'm sorry?
Bunker coats and pants for the fire department.
Okay.
They call them GX Extreme.
Okay, I had a comment here. I think we've got a bill from Champlain Telephone Company for the police fax and breathalyzer lines. I'd like to request that the office contact the phone company, make sure those are disconnected. It's been longer to the police department. It's $62.21 a month we're paying for that.
I'd mentioned that at some point back and was reassured by somebody that was going to be transferred over to the sheriff's department. So we either got to get them out of our name or
we didn't need to cancel it and let them reestablish their own account there.
Yeah.
We don't want it billed through our account, I don't think. Any other questions or comments on the bills?
Yeah, on page 3 of 7.
Yeah.
Snap-on tools. We've got some sockets here and stuff. Does the village have an inventory of what we're putting in for tools up there? So that when a person leaves employment with us, that they're not taking boxes and boxes of things?
I don't think any of them would do that. I would think they'd already have them long before they retired.
That ain't nice to say.
I mean, I don't think, I don't know. I don't think we've ever had any kind of accountability thing on small tools.
No. No.
Okay. And if somebody probably are, some of you will remind me again, I believe you told me once. On page 6 of 7, manufacturers and traders, $5,912 administrative fee. Who's manufacturer and trader?
That's the administrative fee for, what page are you on?
Page 6 of 7,
Right at the top, third, fourth one down.
That's the administrative fee for the sewer bond.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any further questions, thank you very much.
I have one. Jay's Nursery, I was only supposed to buy four plants, and I bought 6. I went down there and looked when I was preparing the stuff, and there are 6 benches. So I took and put one in the middle of each bench, so,
I thought 4 was a little light
yeah.
to begin with. Yeah.
Looks very nice.
Yeah, it looks nice, but
Looks very nice.
very good job.
So I
You're
got
gonna
all that
report on
done.
that later on anyways.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I make a motion, we accept the bills.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Right. Okay, the bills. Correspondence, we have a letter from Montgomery Holsup and Lanner, advising of 2 new members, Nathan Adams and Michelle Austin. We take action on that at all?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We need a motion and a second to
To
accept.
accept them as members?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept 2 members.
Motion by trustee Arnold, seconded by trustee Menard. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I knew we had to approve the chiefs, right? We did.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the numbers. Okay, trustee, the mayor's not here today. He should be back tomorrow, I believe. We expected him tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Wednesday, I believe.
Okay. Trustee Arnold.
The update on the shrubs at Veterans Park, like I said, I bought 6 of them. There's 2 flowering ones and 6 green ones. 6 green shrubs and 2 flowering shrubs. The flowering shrubs, I think, I don't know, I call them, whatever. I forget what the name are. Well, anyhow, there's 2 flowering ones, they're white ones.
Okay.
And I used 10 bags, we had 10 bags of mulch here, and I had to go get 12 more. And I put 2 layers of environmental cloth down, stuff like that, and
Keep the weeds out.
Keep the weeds down and stuff like that. But I think Jean would like she bought some, or had Cody buy some,
Weed,
Edging.
cream?
edging.
Oh,
Edging, did you want to put that down there?
Oh, I didn't know, I didn't realize that had been discussed, the black edging, you mean?
Yeah. Well, he's got 2 rolls here in the rec center, and he said that you wanted that put down there.
Okay. If it is appropriate to do so without, is it easier to maintain with that?
Oh, I would think so,
layer?
yeah. Especially when you go by, because the way the thing was, I made them all the same width. It went from like 5 foot out to like, as you got halfway around, and went out to like 11 foot, then back down to 5 foot and stuff like that. So I made it all 5 foot all the way around and stuff. So they got quite a bit of regular dirt to scratch up or whatever and
Yes.
plant grass seed in it and stuff. So if they put an edging around it, then they'll, you know,
Okay, okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
They'll keep the clippings out of the
Yeah.
mulch too.
yeah. So,
How many total bags of mulch did you have in this project?
22.
I'd asked the administrator quite a few weeks ago to look into having the mulch brought by bulk, like you buy it.
Yeah.
And you've said to me many, many times how cheap it is.
Oh, it's not
Cheaper
cheaper,
by the
yeah.
bulk, and I've
Mhm.
bought it by the bulk, and you
Yeah.
see that we're still using bags. So
We
it's
should
the same.
probably, next year at budget time, or some, maybe you can remember, we'll all try to remember, put it in somebody's account to buy a dump truck load of, a whole load, like,
Right.
8 yards or something, or whatever we think we need,
Mm-hmm.
and just have it dumped down behind the village thing there, and we use
Yeah,
that.
'cause they use it all over the place.
Yeah.
They use it in the park, they use it in the library.
Yeah, we got plenty of time to figure out where to store it and where to get it and everything. We
Mhm.
should, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea, put that in as a regular line item in the budget.
Dupree's typically has it, when the call was made, they did not,
Yeah.
and therefore we diverted back to the bags.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta
Trying
do
to catch
that.
them when they were
Yeah.
on sale.
Yeah.
Well, it probably wouldn't pay for a village employee to go down to Jay's nursery and buy it bulk down there. I mean, you know, guy's time and truck.
No, we just figure it out, we just.
No, I'm saying-
Have them deliver it up here,
Yeah.
you know, how much is a
Yeah.
truckload of mulch, and we'll get our
Yeah.
prices when we do the budget next spring, and
Yeah.
Also, a nursery over in Albert, too.
okay, anything else, Ben?
No, that's all I have for now.
Okay, trustee Dart.
I've got a few things, talking with Tim at the sewer treatment plant. And he tells me he continues to work on trying to balance the mercury going out of the plant with the way he has to treat things that are coming in. The mercury is in the water is naturally occurring. It's in the air, it's in the ground, it's everywhere. It's not that anybody is dumping mercury into our systems, but he is mandated by a state agency to monitor it and try to keep it at certain levels. But it's a balancing act. The way he treats the sewage on the way into the way the clear water goes back out, how much mercury may be created. So that continues to be a little bit of a learning curve for him. The New York DEC, I guess he was talking about that.
You gotta do that for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, I believe that's going to become a yearly thing. Yeah. And then the monitoring in between times, what he indicated to me. They just got done changing there's 8 pumps up there, changed and did the annual oil change on them. They've got a list of all small projects that they can do, whether the sun is out or whether it's raining. The other day when I was up there, it was raining, but they were still outside working. They were pressure washing the brick, so they had moved on to something like that. Tim's been working, Tim and his crew have been working on putting inserts into the sewer manholes to prevent runoff water to getting into our you know, going up to our sewer plant to be treated. He's got the majority of the ones in the village done, but there are 8, I believe he said, that are on state property. And while the village may or may not think of something or want to, the way he phrased it, to do something about those, he's put in a call into somebody in the state, see if he can get them to pay for those. They may or may not care according to their own rules. But the ones we use for our size sewer are $33, $34 a piece, and the ones for a state are $103 or $108 a piece.
Yeah.
So when you've got 8 of them, that's why he's reaching out for assistance.
We used to have those in all the sewers, remember that, Ben?
Yeah.
We did that a couple times,
Oh, yeah, for,
infiltration.
yeah.
I think they've got damaged or deteriorated over the years.
Probably, yeah.
And it's just,
Well, they used to
they're
be
at
a
a
heavy
cycle
duty
where
plastic.
they're replacing those.
Yeah.
He also mentioned the aerators up there, there's 12 of them, that churn up and add air to incoming flow items. And while the aerators and motors are in fairly good condition, he's getting a little concerned about the shafts. They're stainless steel shafts and they're quite expensive to replace. And he's looking at ways, according to when he pulls one, what is wrong with it, to perhaps take it over to Jessberger or have some other guy that deals in stainless steel welding and do the work on them, depending on that. But he's trying to stay ahead of that. He pulled one and they did some minor work to it and replaced it. As I said, there's 11 more that they want to pull at some point. It's working with stainless steel and welding with stainless steel, so it's quite a talent, so it's nothing they can do. The motors or the pumps or whatever that are on them, I'm sure they can do the majority of the work that's there. So that's it for sewer. The next item I've got pass down, this row, is I spent many, many hours in the course of 3 days in writing a job description and the features of the class, performance, knowledge, and skills and ability for an administrative assistant for the village of Rouses Point. What this position is a new position, would be a new employee if everything is approved. But I just want to state to make sure that the residents understand that just because this is a new position we're creating and a new person that's going to be in there, it's not going to cost us additional revenues as our administrator, Mrs. LeBombard, is stepping down when her contract is fulfilled, August 4th. So the idea for this person was to try to do some of the hands-on things that she's done, plus work in other things that may be cross-worked by different people. And what we've got to do with this after the mayor approves it, we've got to send this down to civil service to have them class it. Even though we call it an administrative assistant, they may call it the man on the moon. They could call it a senior clerk or whatever, but I've made sure that I follow the guidelines through many, many, many examples that I did in putting this together. And I've also got it broken up into the features and performance, 2.5, 3 pages of duties that could possibly come about. The next section is the pay study I did, and I did it from PayScale and salary.com online. And the pay for this job across the United States went from $30,000 to $43,300 at the top end. The median pay scale in the United States is $39,300 for this job, or $18.94 an hour. The average pay for this job in Plattsburgh, New York, is $35 an hour. In any big cities, I stayed away from Boston, New York, Chicago, Miami, and other large cities because they're averaging 51,000 or up. The considerations I took into for the pay are the facts of what kind of administrative assistant we'd have. Is he or she an administrative assistant for a clerk, or an accountant, for a sales manager, or an account executive, or a company CEO? So I tried to pick general descriptions and also job duties for that. Lastly, I attached a list of general questions that we may want to pick from for interview questions, which was also taken offline. And as I said, this is in the works. The mayor has to put his approval on it. It has to go down to civil service. It has to be classed by them. It has to come back to us. And whatever we do for it, I forget what our village clerk had told me we do with it, but eventually we can pick from a class of, or a list of candidates that have supposedly taken tests and qualified for this. And I just want to reiterate again that while this is a new position and a new employee, it's not going to be an increase, because I anticipate the pay for this to be 10 to 20% under our administrator's pay now. Because there will be no supervision in this position. There will be only supervision in an indirect manner, and the mayor is aware of that. The mayor and I have already talked with a plan of who's going to manage which department and how it's going to go, and I'm sure he's going to talk with the board about it. So that's it, in not quite a nutshell. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Any comments?
No, sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I looked it over. It's a very thorough and competent job on this.
Thank you.
I think it's really good. What I would like to do is to speed this up. The mayor had mentioned that he wanted to bring this up, I believe, at the next meeting, because he thought it would take us that long to establish this criteria, but I think that's already been done. So what I would like to do is, we need a motion to send this to civil service. So what I would like is a motion to send this, to authorize the clerk to send it down to civil service for approval after the mayor gets back and takes a look at it and
Right. Mayor
makes
puts
any changes.
his okay on it first.
Right,
That's
but
right.
that way we won't have to wait till the next meeting to authorize that to be sent down.
So
Good
moved.
to me.
Okay, they have a motion to,
Yep, so moved.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Trustee Menard and trustee Dart, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, is that all?
Yes,
Trustee Dart?
thank you.
Okay, trustee Menard.
I have nothing at this time, other than just to tell Mr. Arnold he did a great job on the park. It
Yeah.
looks very good. I took a ride by there tonight. Looks really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did a good job, man.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other reports? Yes.
I have nothing.
I just wanted to let everybody know that the Senator Little grant for the water treatment plant has now made it through the finance evaluation and is now headed to the Senate. So we should be hearing final and receive a contract soon.
Okay, so in other words, forgive me on this, because I don't really understand this, I came in late on it, but this is being done in Albany.
Correct,
It doesn't have anything to do with us or the county at this point.
correct.
Okay. And so far, the work that we've done on the water plant has been financed with other funds, not this, in anticipation of this coming through?
It's currently being funded through the water plant budget from last year,
Right, okay.
which will be reimbursable through
When we get
the
to
grant.
300,000 approximately, or
That is a little grant?
200.
200,000, oh yeah, 200,000, and there was some other money from another source, IEP or one of those.
That has already, that's
Yeah, that-
already been paid, that's already installed, everything is complete in that.
And that was electric motors,
Yes, variable frequency drives.
so we're doing well there. Okay, Arson, you have anything?
No, I just got back from vacation, so
You want to tell us about it, or?
could have nicer weather, but.
Okay, open the meeting to,
Call it executive session later.
yeah, you need one? Okay, time to do it, be, go ahead.
After.
You can do it right now.
All right, I'll look at an executive session on a particular person.
Employee.
Employee,
Okay. Okay, we need a roll call vote for that? No?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, have an executive session. Now, I'll open the meeting to the public. Anyone from the public? There's only one. You have anything to say, John, or any questions, or?
Well, the thing is, Tom, I'm sure he does a wonderful job in this deal, but haven't been involved in the board before in setting up some of these jobs. And with Johnny Burt's and him, when I worked on a lot of this stuff, you know, the last line should say, and any other assigned duties.
Yeah,
That means, it's not stringent. In other words, if you have an executive or an administrator and they're doing a certain job, but if something pops up, you can also assign that person to any other assigned duties. And it's in the civil service contract, so there can't be any complaints.
Well, I've been told by my mayor directly that there is a different interpretation these days on other duties as assigned. And if he wants to add that language when it comes to, but I was under the impression that wasn't going to be added to this.
All I know is we did this before, and we got burnt a little bit, so after when we did something, when we had made a position, at the end, we always put, and any other assigned duties, but
I
that's not.
truly hear you. It's a phrase that's been used for years, but it's also been overused, and I'm gonna let the mayor decide whether or not he wants to go into that, go into the language.
I agree, that was my thought too. I mentioned that at the time, and
Well, the only thing is that when John and I were doing it, it seemed like it worked out first time we got our fingers burnt because we didn't add that. And then someone said, well, I can't do that because it's not part of the job description. So after that, when we did something like this, we did any other assigned duties. And that kind of opened up the door, well, okay, well, you gotta help out with this or whatever. You know, it's like hiring a guy to work in a water plant.
Right.
And the line crew needs some help to put a pole up. And any other assigned duties, so the
Right.
line, the guys go and help the guy put the pole up, I mean. Because our work staff is so small here.
Thank you, John. I'll pass your comments on to the mayor.
Yeah. Anything else?
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Okay, we'll have a short adjournment and then go into
Second.
executive session. Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.